So this is session 4. In this session, we are going to see the other methods of measuring the evaporation. Previously, we have seen pan measurement method and the pan coefficient. So here we are going to see the use of empirical formula for measurement of evaporation. So based on Dalton's law of evaporation, various formulas have been suggested to estimate the evaporation. Mayer's formula is here. Mayer's formula, that is empirical Mayer's formula, E is equal to C into ES minus EA into 1 plus 0.06215 V. E is equal to C into ES minus EA into 1 plus 0.06215 V. E is evaporation from water body, it is mm per month. ES is saturation vapor pressure at various surface. EA is actual vapor pressure of air based on mean monthly temperature and relative humidity. V is monthly mean wind velocity in kilometers per hour, 10 meter above the ground level. C is equal to 50 small shallow ponds and 11 for large or deep water bodies. So empirical formula, that is Mayer's formula, E is equal to C bracket ES minus EA into 1 plus 0.06215 V. Capital E is evaporation from water bodies mm per month. ES is equal to saturation vapor pressure. EA is equal to actual vapor pressure. V is equal to monthly mean wind velocity. This is Mayer's formula. We will see Rover's formula. So in Rover's formula, E is equal to 0.771, 1.465 minus 0.000732 PA into 0.44 plus 0.7334 V into ES minus EA. So here saturation vapor pressure and actual vapor pressure and mean barometric reading is added. You can see in formula E is equal to 0.771, 1.465 minus 0.000732 PA into 0.44 plus 0.7334 V into ES minus EA is as usual evaporation in mm per day. PA is mean biometric reading in mm mercury. ES is equal to saturation vapor pressure at water surface, that is mm of mercury corresponding to mean monthly temperature of water. EA is actual vapor pressure of air based on mean monthly temperature and relative humidity. Small v is monthly mean wind velocity in kilometers per hour, 10 meters above the ground level. So in Mayer's equation, E is equal to C ES minus EA 1 plus 0.06215 V. Here in Rover's equation, E is equal to 0.771, 1.465 minus 0.000732 PA into 0.44 plus 0.7334 V ES minus EA. Now after seeing the measurements of evaporation by pan measurement method and empirical formula, that is Mayer's formula and Rover's formula, we will see how to control the evaporation from lakes. So we have to have some remedial measures to reduce the evaporation from water bodies. Basically, there are various points by which we can control the evaporation from lakes. We will see the methods to control the evaporation from lakes one by one. First one is storage reservoir should have more depth and less surface area. The site for construction of a dam should be so chosen that a deep reservoir with minimum surface area exposed to the atmosphere is found. Tall trees on the windward side of the reservoir should be planted so that they act as wind breakers. By spraying a chemical such as acetyl alcohol on water surface, a film of 0.15 micron thickness is produced on the surface. This film allows precipitation in but does not allow evaporation. This is suitable when wind velocity are less and for small and medium sized reservoir. In case of ponds and lakes, entire water body can be converted by thin polythene sheets as mechanical covering. In reservoirs outlet, arrangement should be so done to let out warmer water at top than colder water from bottom. De-weeding the reservoir should be done such that water consumed by weeds is reduced. The streams and channels to be strengthened so that length and in turn exposed area to the atmosphere are reduced. So these are the methods to control the evaporation from lakes. Storage reservoir should have more depth. Spraying of acetyl alcohol on water surface. In case of ponds and lakes, water body should be covered by thin polythene sheets as mechanical covering. Reservoir outlet should be done to let warmer water at the top than colder water. De-weeding the reservoir should be done. The streams and channel to be strengthened so that length and in turn exposed area to atmosphere are reduced. So these are the methods to control the evaporation from lakes. In next chapter we will see evapotranspiration. After seeing evaporation, we will see evapotranspiration. So in agricultural fields, apart from transpiration, water is also lost due to evaporation from adjacent soil. The sum of these two losses is often termed as evapotranspiration. That means the agricultural field, apart from the water bodies, due to the evaporation occurs due to adjacent soil also. So the sum of these two losses is often termed as evapotranspiration. It is denoted by capital E small t or conjunctive use is Cu. Potential evapotranspiration. When sufficient moisture is freely available to completely meet the needs of vegetation, fully covering an area, the resulting evapotranspiration is called as potential evapotranspiration. Actual evapotranspiration. The real evapotranspiration occurs in specific situation, like in the fields is actually evapotranspiration, but the knowledge of evapotranspiration, potential evapotranspiration and actual evapotranspiration are very much useful in designing of irrigation system, in deciding the amount of water to be supplied to the raising crops. After seeing the definition of evaporation, factors affecting the design, then the basic definitions and the methods of measuring the evaporation, we will see what are the factors which are affecting this evapotranspiration. Like in case of evaporation, various factors are affecting. Here also in evapotranspiration, the potential evapotranspiration is controlled by meteorological facts, but actual evapotranspiration is affected by plants and the soil. As the evapotranspiration is also occurs due to the soil and plants, hence potential evapotranspiration is controlled by meteorological facts, but actual evapotranspiration is affected by plant and soil factor. In total, the factors affecting evapotranspiration are temperature, humidity, percentage sunshine hours, wind speed, type of crop, season, moisture holding capacity of soil, irrigation methods, cropping pattern. So these are the factors which are affecting the evapotranspiration. Determination of evapotranspiration or consumptive use of water. How to determine this evapotranspiration? The methods of determining this consumptive use of water or evapotranspiration are direct measurement method and by using empirical formula. We will see next season direct measurement method and the use of empirical formula.